What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,600, I love being able to say that. Over 1,600 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we are still dealing with pandemic life, but that doesn't mean that you can't still be uplifting. All right, you can uplift yourself. You can uplift your neighborhood, your friends, your family, all that good stuff. Today, I've got with me the founder and CEO of A Girl Like Me Artwork, the wonderful Shelia May. Hey, Shelia.
Hi, how are you?
I am great. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Anxious for this pandemic to come to an end so we can get back to some sort of normality, if that even exists anymore. But yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah, join the club. Join the club. Oh my goodness. So Shelia, let everyone know that is unaware, where are you? What part of the country are you at right now?
Well, I am in the state of Georgia, same as you, Ash, and I was born and raised in a little town south of Atlanta called Macon, Georgia, which there are a lot of really famous musicians back in the day. And I currently live in a tiny little town about 10 minutes from Macon called Forsyth, Georgia.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I saw, you're one of my fellow Georgians. We're neighboring, bordering cities, so we love that. Always. All right. So, Shelia, how did the company form? Where did the idea for this brand come from?
It's kind of a long, winding road, so to speak. So I'll try to do the best I can here. So I knew when I retired from my primary career that I wanted to have enough time to do a chapter 2, so to speak. And I didn't know what that chapter 2 would look like, but I knew I wanted to do something. So I planned on retiring earlier than normal, of course. So are you still there? Because I just had a beep in my phone.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry about that. So I knew I wanted to do something different, and I'll also say that in my primary career back in the day, I was a robotics programmer and a software developer and an account executive for a lot of technical weapon system programs for the Department of Defense. So it was a very technical career for 20 plus years. So I knew I wanted to do something a little bit different than that in my chapter 2. So I retired at the age of 50, and I immediately threw myself into 14 things all at the same time, trying to figure out what was going to speak to me. I looked at buying a bookstore in the North Georgia mountains. I looked at, I joined a wood turning club with some 70 and 80-year-old gentlemen up the road here, and I thought, well, maybe I'll turn beautiful wooden bowls and try to sell them. And I always had rental houses on the side, so I thought, well, maybe I'll buy more rental houses because I really like property. And but I came upon this thing called mixed media art, and at the time I had no idea what mixed media art was, and it took me a minute to figure it out. But what I really loved about it is you don't really have to have any kind of artistic training to do mixed media. There are no rules, so you don't have to worry about breaking rules, and you feel like less of an imposter artist, I guess, because anything kind of goes. So I started doing mixed media art, and I really loved it. And, I do have a very entrepreneurial brain, so I knew I wanted to turn this into some sort of business, but I didn't know what it would look like yet. And I kind of paired those two things with a passion that I have, and that passion is for girls and women. And I was a single mother for 20 plus years, raising a daughter in a world that still very much undervalues and thinks girls and women are often lesser than everybody else in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And I also, yeah, I'm sure you know exactly what that feels like.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I had a lot of experience being a woman, a career woman in a very male-dominated field for 20 plus years. And one thing I know for sure is women are still treated differently in the workplace. And that's my experience. And I'm not saying that's universal, but that is definitely my experience. So I think all those passions just kind of mushed together, and this company called A Girl Like Me Art was born. So there you go.
Wow. That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I want to say thank you so much for my print. I got that print that, that you guys sent me. I didn't wake up today to be mediocre. I didn't wake up to just be whatever, to be an ordinary chick. No, I'm extraordinary. And we need to start.
Right.
Yeah, we've got to start really implanting that in our young women. Because you look on social media today, there's a lot of crazy stuff on there, Sheila. I'm sure you've seen some of it. There's a lot of young women that are not valuing themselves. And we need to get back to a place. I don't even know how we do it, but I think that your company is the start of putting that good kind of energy out there, just so girls can have their own self-esteem. They won't look to a substance or a man or a situation to feel validated as women. They should know within themselves they are beautiful, they are loved, they can conquer the world. And that is really what spoke to me about your brand, and just looking through all the different graphics and a lot of just the different accessories and things and that you have together. I mean, I love all of it. And the main thing that I personally love of it is just the diversity within it. I mean, you see black, you see white, you see young, you see older, you see middle-aged, and they're all empowering statements. And we don't have enough of that. We don't.
We don't. There's so much information and visual stimulation in the social media world these days, and these people are juggling so many things, so many pieces of information, so many visuals all at the same time. And what I'm trying to do is just kind of provide young girls and young ladies and women of any ages, like you said, with just something, even if it's a coffee mug or a journal or a print on their wall or a piece of original art that they can see every single day to kind of ground them, to remind them that they are extremely worthy, extremely valuable, and to instill confidence in them, and to let them know more than anything else that you can be anything you want to be, and you're the only one that is entitled to create your path in the world. Your husband can't do that for you. Your boyfriend can't. Your parents can't. You are the only one that can design your life, so go do it.
Absolutely. For you, what has been the proudest moment? What's the first thing that sticks out to you?
Wow. I still remember the very first time I hung one of my original paintings in a little gallery here in Macon, Georgia. Yeah. That was extremely thrilling. I remember the first time a father bought a piece of my original art for his daughter. Wow. I mean, typically, 95% of my clients are women. Yeah. But I remember the first time a father bought a piece, and that just so touched my heart. Aww. And it made me proud that I was able to connect not only with women that understand and empathize with the way we feel sometimes, but also a dad who sees those same kinds of things in his young daughter and wanted to give her something to empower her, as she grew up.
Wow, that is amazing. Sheila, what would you say is next for A Girl Like Me artwork? What's next on the horizon for you guys?
Ooh, I have got some big old goals, let me tell you. So this year, I have some big revenue goals that I'm really trying to hit before the end of the year, and I'm primarily trying to do that by growing my wholesale business. So that means lots and lots of volume. So I already have my original art. I've got my journals and my mugs. I've introduced die-cut stickers, and I have my art print. Those are my primary products. So with those products, by the end of the year, I'm hoping to reach a much larger revenue goal that I've put in place. And next year, I want to introduce a couple of new product categories. One is going to hopefully be a clothing line. And the other one is hopefully going to be dolls. And of course, for the dolls, it's going to be very empowering dolls that young girls can look up to. And I envision them maybe being a female astronaut, very much like Mae Jemison, or a female scientist, things like that. And so I've started prototyping the design, and I've trademarked the idea. But that's probably going to be next year or the following year after that. And the same for the clothing line. I would love for young girls to go into a shop and say, oh, wow, I want to get a girl like me, fill in the blank, because I want the clothing line to be very empowering, and I want it to be very respectful of the way girls want to present themselves to the world. But I also want them to look kind of cool and hip,
Cool. And you got something coming up next week, February 1st through the 3rd. There's a little something happening.
Yes. So, as I said, my wholesale customers, those are my biggest clients right now. And I've got about 30 wholesale clients that I provide products to. And February 1st through 3rd is the FAIRE, FAIRE, Wholesale Winter Marketplace. Because of the COVID pandemic, we haven't been able to do a lot of in-person markets. And so FAIRE is one of the largest wholesale markets that's online. And so February 1st through 3rd is the winter market, and all of these small businesses that are on FAIRE like me are really crossing our fingers that we'll have a really good turnout for that market.
Cool. That definitely sounds like the move. I am loving that. Last but certainly not least, Shelia, what advice would you offer to any woman out there that, much like yourself, maybe is on the next chapter in life and exploring a new industry? What advice would you offer to her today?
Well, one thing that has always served me well, and I bet you've probably done the same thing, Ash, because you seem like you have a very entrepreneurial mind, but I've known my whole life, even in my previous career, that whatever you do, you've got to figure out a way to discriminate yourself from everybody else in the world that does exactly what you do. Because there are so many people out there doing their thing too. So when I decided to start this art business, I tried to come up with a unique way to make what I was doing different from what other people were doing. So one of the things I came up with is I always include a slightly hidden date in each piece of art or any product that I make. And that date represents a date in history that a woman performed a fantastical feat for the rest of us ladies. And so part of the fun in getting a piece of my art or one of my products is finding that date and trying to figure out what it is. So that's something that's a little bit clever and also educational, but it makes my art and my greeting cards and my coffee mugs, not only cool looking, but a little bit more interesting and a little bit unique. So whatever you do, ladies, go out there, try and make it happen, but figure out a way to make yourself stand out from the competition, because there's so many people out there doing the same sort of things. You just got to figure out a way to stand out.
Absolutely. I love it, Shelia May. A Girl Like Me artwork. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shelia. Definitely appreciate you beyond words.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed talking to you. It's so fun.
Absolutely, yes. And because I love everything that your brand is and it stands for, and you're a fellow AT alien, I would love for you to join me back on the show when there's a new announcement, because I know as the months go on, there's going to be so much new developments and things that's going on. I definitely want you back, and I like exclusive, Shelia, so I like to be the first to tell people about stuff. So
okay, all right, you got it.
Out into the universe. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.